sixth grade. We are on our last math book. Are you guys excited about that? I am really excited about that. We have done a lot of hard work. You have done a lot of hard work this year. And we are finishing up this year. And this is 6-10. And we are ready for the first lesson. And usually we read the first page together. And so being this is on a video, I am probably going to skip reading it, but you guys read it. It talks about math and astronomy. And astronomy is like the study of the stars, the skies, the planets, all of that. And God made that, and I think He wants us to know about that. And that's what you guys are going to be learning about in this math book, is about planets, space, all of that. So let's go to page 2. And let's see what we're going to be learning about today. Do you remember in last math book 609, lesson 15, our last lesson, we learned about different terms and terms that we're going to be learning about as you go on into 7th grade and into algebra. You're going to be doing things that you're going to need to know what the words mean. When you read a word problem, you're going to need to know what sum means, difference, something added to another, something more than, less than. You learned all those terms last lesson. On lesson 15, you learned about the terms for addition and subtraction. And just remember, addition is like the sum. That's the answer to an addition problem. Something that is added to, something that is more than, let me see, increased by, and then subtraction is less or less than. The difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. If something is reduced by, subtracted from, those are all subtraction terms. All right, so in your lesson today, we're doing multiplication and division terms. Multiplication says when translating words to numbers and math symbols, the following words indicate multiplication and division. Multiplication is product. That's an answer to a multiplication problem. It's called a product. In other words, 6 times 4 equals 24. 24 is your product. If you say something is twice something else, like 6 is twice than 3, that means multiplying. If they tell you to times something, that's multiplying. If you square something, you guys know when you square 3 squared is 9, you're multiplying 3 times 3. Or if something is cubed, that means 3 cubed is 27. That means we went 3 times 3 times 3. We're multiplying. The terms for division would be if they would say something is divided by, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Something is divided into something else, or halved. If you say the half of 6 is 3, that means you divided 6 by 2. Or the quotient. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. And they give you some examples. Look at number 1 on the example, not down on your blanks, but up there where it says examples. Number 1, the product of 20 and 35. That means you would have multiplied 20 times 35 because they want to know the product. The quotient of 8 and 4, you would write 8 divided by 4. 7 squared, you would write 7 with an exponent of 2. And if they would say half of 16, they would want you to write 16 divided by 2. The words is and equals indicate the equal sign in an equation. So if you ever see the word is in a word problem, that is an indication that you need an equal sign. That means the same thing. The word is and the equal sign, those mean the same thing, okay? So they give you an example of a word problem. The product of 8 and 9. Okay, we know product means multiplying. So the product of 8 and 9 is, there you put an equal sign, equals what? We know that equals 72. So if you would read product of 8 and 9, now I put the number 8 in there, it should have been the word 8, but you read this, product, that means multiply, of 8 and 9 is, this word right here is an indication you need an equal sign, okay? Let's do a couple of them. Now, some of you guys got mixed up on the last lesson, on the lesson 15 when we did that. They don't want you to write in answers on problems 1 through 7. They want you to write out it says translate into numbers and symbols. In other words, twice 16 equals 32, okay? They don't want you necessarily to put 32 in your blank. They want you to write the word problem out into numbers. It's hard to explain, but let's do some. Twice 16. So that means twice means multiplying. So that means 2 times 16, twice 16 equals 32. And that's exactly how they want you to write it out. 2 times 16 equals 32. Number 2 says 6 times 4, okay? Don't write the answer, just write 6 times 4. They're wanting you to, they're making sure that you know how to translate words into numbers, because you're going to have to know how to do that as you advance in your math. They're going to give you a word problem, and you've got to put the numbers in here. 100 divided by 5. So just go 100. You can either write it like this, or you can say 100 divided by 5. Either way. Is 20. Is equals 20. Okay? 100 divided by 5 is 20. All right? 6 added to the product of 17 and 2. Okay? Product means multiplying. So the product of 17 and 2, and they want to add 6 to that. 6 added to this. That means you need to solve for this first, and then you would have added 6 to it. All right, what does 6 squared mean? You guys know how to do that. Write it 6 with an exponent of 2. 3 divided into 12. 3 divided into 12. Half of 18. Half, that means you're going to divide by 2, is or equals 9. 18 divided by 2 is 9. All right. That is all for your new part today. Let's see. They have one instruction up on the top of page 4. Number 12 says round to the nearest whole week. So obviously, when you're counting your weeks, if you don't have that calendar that I gave you, just, guys, I'm sure all have a calendar in your house. If you don't, let me know and I'll get you a copy of that calendar. But obviously, this is going to come in between 2 different weeks, okay? So make sure you round it to the nearest whole week. See if there's going to be anything else you might not understand. On the back of page 6, where your lesson ends, you've got 4 problems that you're supposed to translate into numbers and symbols. The bottom 2, 37 and 38, is what you learned today. 35 and 36 is what you learned on whatever day we did, lesson 15. So one of them is adding, one of them is subtracting, okay? So the first two are the adding and subtracting, the last two are the multiplying and the dividing. All right, this is Friday, guys. You have the weekend to enjoy. Miss you guys here in class. I will say it again. It's very empty, very quiet. I wish that I would see a flag up here and there and that I would see you sitting in your desks, but I just don't see that. But maybe I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you around and show you what's in your desks. Most of you have quizzes or something like that sitting in your desk. Hello, Cheyenne. She's got some quizzes there. Hello, Emily. You've got tests waiting on you. Does this look familiar? I guess this is, I'm talking to 6th graders here. This should be Ashley. There you've got quizzes. English, you've got tests. That just kind of looks like home, doesn't it? Let's see, here's Delcy. You've got a few things in your desk waiting on you. Poor little old tickets are laying in the desk. That just might spark a little interest in your schoolroom again. Have a good day and a good weekend.